Well, here we are. The Republican primary season is coming to a close. And not to put too fine a point on it, Ron Paul has changed the world. He has changed the world. Not that many people in the world can claim that. And I'm really, really proud to have been one of the first guys on the bandwagon and to provide unwavering support throughout the whole process. It's inspiring to read blogs and see videos of people in other countries who are now yearning for their own Ron Paul. I mean, there was a speech at this huge demonstration in Spain where the whole, all the guy did was talk about how Ron Paul should be the blueprint for the political candidates in Spain and throughout the world. I mean, it's there's a certain amount of vindication because when you start out on that journey, and a lot of you guys, you know exactly what I mean, and you start trying to explain to people what Ron Paul stands for and why you support him. And you've got the Fox guys and the CNN guys and everybody telling you what a kook he is and and you endure a lot of crap from people who say that you're insane and whatever. And you know what? Here's the bottom line. This man is now officially a cult of personality, and he's changed the world. He's permanently altered the Republican Party. He has permanently altered the political discourse and the narrative in this country. People are now talking about the Federal Reserve. They're talking about how stupid it is to have troops all over the world. They're talking about the American empire. And they're thinking, and this is the most important thing, and they're thinking about how things like the American empire actually benefit Main Street, and realizing that it doesn't benefit us at all. It doesn't make oil any cheaper, which was promised with Iraq. It doesn't make us any safer. It makes us more vulnerable. It's a bad policy that feeds a couple of special interest groups. And Ron Paul's known this for 40 years, and he's been screaming at the top of his lungs for the whole time. And so I can't be more proud to have been involved. And I can't be more proud of him for sticking to his guns. Which brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk about. And I hope I'm wrong on this. But for those of you who follow his family, you know Rand Paul is a senator in Kentucky. And Rand Paul apparently attended a closed-door meeting with Romney for a half hour the other day. And now the speculation is that he might be considering becoming Romney's running mate. That sucks. Because Ron Paul, his father, is going to... And he's 76 years old. What is he going to do? Keep running until he's at 120? Ron Paul is exiting stage left. He's not running for Congress again. He's not going to run for the president again. And the heir apparent to this philosophical fortune that he has given to the world is Rand Paul. And if I find out that Rand Paul is making deals with Romney and compromising on... Well, maybe we don't need to be in all these wars, but we can still keep a few going. What the fuck does compromise mean? It really upsets me. This is a man who spent his entire life listening to his father talk about the principles that he stood for. And I don't have any shot whatsoever getting Rand to listen to this, but Romney is Satan, dude. He's signed the NDAA. Literally everything he stands for is in direct polar opposition to what your father stands for and what I thought you stood for. So if you make a deal with the devil to help your fucking political career, that's it. I don't ever want to hear your name again. And we're going to have to find somebody else who's willing to sacrifice their own career for the principles that they stand for, like your father was willing to do. And luckily, he came from a small district in Texas that never made him make that sacrifice, but he was willing the whole time. So In a nutshell, Ron Paul has changed the world. He has literally changed the world. He has put a new conversation into the system. People now think about freedom and about. I mean, the man stood there in the middle of a Republican debate and argued for the legalization of drugs. That's not just ideological, that's fucking courage. And didn't care how many supporters it cost him. Rand Paul, I really hope you've got the same stones and the same blood that your dad does. And not that, and I'm going to end this with this. I gotta say, going all the way back to 2006, 2007, when I started learning about Ron Paul, and when I supported him in 2008 and again in 2012, I never truly believed that even if he made it to the White House, that electing the correct president was going to solve the problem. The problem is way too deep for that. There are cosmetic things and some very tangible things that he could have done in that capacity, but there's still long-term malignant tumors in our culture that are going to have to be radiated, and a president can't be the one to do it. Anyway, Ron Paul, I'm so happy I was part of it. You changed the world. Rand Paul, keep your eye on the ball, bro. Don't get distracted by the fame and fortune. Later.